substitution in Jesus Santiago, so you know he knows nothing about him.
Abdullaev has fought 5 times as a pro with 4 KOs, and he's been getting people out of there in very quick order. And another thing about Abdullaev that lets you know that he is a real serious prospect. He has serious connections. He is managed by Vlad Wharton, who was the manager, of course, and promoter of Kostya, the great 140-pound champion, and he is trained by Kenny Adams, who's been a fine, outstanding trainer for many, many years with many high-class boxers.
Yeah, we just talked to Kenny just a few moments before we went on the air, and Kenny kind of saying, I'm back, and he's back in large part because of Muhammad Abdullaev.
Probably a very good guy to cast a future lot with.
Yeah, Kenny has done very, very well with young fighters. Guy that's been around the track a long time. Good teacher. Military background. No-nonsense guy, Kenny Adams.
Santiago, a veteran, getting in some good punches here early. Bends down low at the waist and managed to land with an uppercut there on Abdullaev.
Yeah, difficult to hit, too, because Abdullaev has to punch down at him.
Santiago 5-1 as a professional. He's out of Seattle. To be honest, all eyes are on Abdullaev.
I think, though, that Santiago has gotten Abdullaev's attention here.
Yeah, he did when he landed with a couple of those shots thrown from that low crouch that he got into. Santiago, a late sub, however, and a lot of his chance in this fight is going to depend on what kind of condition he is in.
Yeah, that's always a factor. Good straight left hand by Abdullaev. Still to come, of course, our main event, Tim Witherspoon and Darrell Wilson. That's later in this program. This is the return of Sunday night fights. Barry Tompkins, Rich Murata, Sean O'Grady, the champ.
How terrific a prospect is this Abdullaev? You have to look back at the Olympic Games and realize that he won a decision over the Puerto Rican sensation, Miguel Cotto. Nice left hook by Santiago. He won a decision over Miguel Cotto, who is regarded by most people as the #1 prospect, basically, out of the year 2000, in this rookie class, I guess you could call it. And he also defeated Ricardo Williams of the United States, who's making a lot of noise as a professional.
So this guy's the deal. Now all he has to do is prove it as a professional. And he's getting all he wants right now from Jesus Santiago.
I think he landed a good left hook inside that got Santiago's attention.
End of 1.
How does your gray beard or mustache reflect on you?
Man, alcohol. And 11, only on Fox Sports Net.
Those guys are nuts on that.
Yeah, that's
they
true.
have a good time.
Like the old fraternity. Muhammad Abdullaev and Jesus Santiago in round 2.
I got the feeling at the end of round 1, the last 30 seconds, the heavy-handedness of Abdullaev is starting to come to the fore. But one thing I don't like about Abdullaev so far is he seems to have been getting hit quite a bit by Santiago. Good jab. He throws it out there with power.
Santiago, though, is hanging in there, and he is trying to fight him. He's not just a live body. Left hand there by Abdullaev.
See, there's that hard jab that he throws. Sometimes he throws the probing jab, but when Abdullaev throws the hard jab, it is a good one. A lot of strength behind it, real quick. And will also, as you saw there, throw the jab to the body.
Long right hand by Abdullaev.
Abdullaev has got enough power to make the jab to the body hurt a little bit.
Good job to get Santiago off him and hit him with the right hand. Santiago's still getting there. You make a good point.
Abdullaev is very confident in his own ability, just kind of trudges forward.
Good right hand there.
Naturally, Vlad Wharton is very excited about having Abdullaev in his stable now.
Well, if he learns from Costa Zoo, that's a good guy to learn from.
Who, of course, was another great amateur with a similar amount of fights.
And not a dissimilar background, too. Started in what was then the Soviet Union, now living in Australia. Good body work by Santiago. And Santiago's just staying right there, toe-to-toe with him.
Yeah, good for Santiago. Apparently he didn't read all the headlines about Abdullaev, didn't read the bio, because he came here ready to fight.
He doesn't get the Uzbekistanian papers, I guess. End of round 2, and we're going to go back into the dressing room of Tim Witherspoon, who is being watched by the knowledgeable eye of Sean O'Grady. Sean, what do you got?
Yeah, the knowledgeable eyes of his handlers. You know, they're very concerned back here, because what champions do is they age, and also so much experience with Tim Witherspoon. They don't get excited for these fights. They're trying to fight.
Jesus Santiago. Santiago, remember, with a 5-1 record, not a real threat to get anybody out of there. Only has 1 knockout in his 5 victories, but staying toe-to-toe with a guy who, at least in theory, is a much bigger puncher. Crowd watching was kind of like a jury, actually, not really into the spirit of this fight.
A lot of times when they come to see a big name like Tim Witherspoon, they save their passion for that particular fight.
That's true, and I think it would only be the aficionados who know about Abdullaev at this point. Your card, Abdullaev with a shutout so far. That's not a surprise. He's been busier than Santiago, but give credit to Santiago for at least fighting him.
Yeah. I think, there's some hope for opponents of Abdullaev in the future, judging by the fact that Santiago has been able to hit him, and hit him fairly often. But, Abdullaev, the way that he fights, leads to that. I mean, as I mentioned, he kind of trudges forward. He's a little reckless. He wants to get his offense going. He's leading with that right hand, which is not that good an idea, I don't think.
Short right hand by Abdullaev. Santiago right there. Santiago comes back, throws punches of his own. Santiago's punches now a little bit arm punches.
Right. Well, he's not a power puncher to begin with. He has only 1 knockout in 6 fights. What he does is out-hustle opponents. He's trying to out-hustle Abdullaev here, but he's unable to do it so far, because Abdullaev's pretty active himself.
Abdullaev, as you said, had over 300 amateur fights, and he's 28 years old, so getting started in his professional career a little bit later than most. I'm sure he'll be on an accelerated track from this point on, but you can see still a lot to learn. That right hand did send Santiago back into the ropes.
Not only did he win the gold medal in the year 2000, but the year before that, in 1999, he was the world amateur champion. And at the World Amateur Championships that year, he also beat Ricardo Williams. So he took him 2 years in a row in big, important international events. Both those guys, I'll tell you, Miguel Cotto and Ricardo Williams are both off to great starts as professionals.
Well, that change is not always an easy thing, as we've seen on numerous occasions, guys who were outstanding amateurs and then turned professional, and all of a sudden the power is not there. And in the professional ranks, pretty good idea to have a little pop in your punches.
Let him go, Black. Let him go.
Santiago holding on now as we come to the end of the 3rd round.
He's not having...
When he throws it to the body. And there you saw the left hook to the head. But man, and then again, he lands a solid left hook.
Santiago a little bit more in retreat in this 4th round than he was earlier. Good workout for Abdullaev, though. Get some rounds in against a guy who is more than just a punching bag. Santiago still slipping the occasional punch in. Santiago not doing enough to win any rounds, but
pick him up, Wade. Pick him up.
Putting himself rather well. I think his legs are about to be trouble.
If they do, it might be as a result of a lot of those left hooks that he's been catching in the body. not throwing the amount of jabs I'd like to see him throw in a fight, but he can walk right to Santiago. I think that's what he feels. He can just walk right up on him and throw the left hook and throw his big power shots.
Santiago is in trouble.
I'm surprised Santiago, I think, probably is looking for the left now. He's been hit with it so many times.
Up! Let him up the line. Trying to fight back. Santiago might be able to hear it.
Yeah, Abdullaev, he looks like a fighter to me.
He does.
He just looks like a woodsman or something, you know, big square body.
He's got a face like a frying pan. Stop! Let him up, go now!
Pick the right profession.
Box.
Yes! Finally, it was just an accumulation of punches.
That's exactly what it was.
Too many shots. He's thinking right now, do I want to get up? I can get up. Do I want to? No, I don't think so.
I think I'll just stay right here. That's it.
Very comfortable right here, and I think I'll let Robert Bird count the count.
And it doesn't hurt.
Well, this guy, Abdullaev, now 6-0 Barry. He's a prospect to be sure in the professional ranks. Great amateur career. He's on his way as a pro. He throws a lot of punches, pretty heavy-handed. And I can see him getting a lot of KOs in just that fashion, piling up punches.
Wear the man down, and that's exactly what happened. This one, you really couldn't see it coming, other than the fact, as you said earlier, Santiago's legs had started to betray him, but just an accumulation, I think.
Too many shots. And Abdullaev throws a lot of power punches. Doesn't really do much with the jab. He's looking to get you out of there, wear you down.
So he
Robert reaches the count of 10. Your winner by way of knockout, Muhammed Abdullaev.
So Abdullaev now 6-0 with the 5 knockouts. This one just kind of wore his man down in the 4th round, Rich.
Yeah, and I think he's going places. As I mentioned, he's got connections, and some of those connections are smiling broadly in that ring. People like Vlad Wharton and Kenny Adams. Vlad Wharton is manager, Kenny Adams is trainer.
All right, and Sean O'Grady is amongst them all. Shawnee?
Thanks, guys. Vlad Wharton here to help me interpret here. Just tell me what he thinks of his performance tonight.
Нормальный соперник, он сильный соперник, он серьезный.
He feels the opponent was very tough, so he feels he did quite well, because the opponent was a very good opponent, a tough kid at that.
He was a tough kid, but Muhammad, it looked as though you were looking for some work tonight. Did you try to work? Did you learn some things in this match?
Ты думаешь, ты чему-то научился в этом матче, в этом поединке?
Я уже первый раунд мне чуть там видел бой, потом уже потихоньку уже набрал как дыхание.
First round he was getting used to it, and the second round he got his breathing, and then he started to work better, and he was looking for work, and he got the rounds in.
Well, I know, Vlad, you've done a great job hiring Kenny Adams, a veteran cornerman. Tell me what your kid did tonight that was so good.
Well, what I liked when he stepped around to the right and he pivoted. When he pivoted, he come back with a little short right hand, and then he turned again and pivoted through the hook. Then he dropped a shot to the body with the left hand underneath, back over the top. And those are the things we've been working on.
Things are working, aren't they, Dan Houston? You may have a star on the horizon here.
Listen, I always love to have the 2000 Olympic gold medalists out here.